Hey, Marcus Hutzel here, and hopefully a quick, definitely unscripted video because I needed to point out some problems that I've been having with my Atomos Shogun 7 here. I bought this thing in the fall of 2021 because I liked having 4 SDI inputs or a 4K input. It's portable. It's supposed to be one of the best monitors out there, and I've had a couple problems with it. Not operational problems, but color problems. I actually sent this off to Atomos because I found the image to be overly warm, even when compared to Atomos's Ninja and their Shinobi, both of which I own. And it wasn't like a totally detrimental problem. So I shipped it off, they calibrated it, sent it back. I thought it was a little bit better, and I'll have hopefully another video on that problem and whether it was really solved later. I'm not sure if I'll post that before or after this one. Look for it in my library. But when it came back, I thought it still didn't match my Ninja, didn't match my Shinobi, but I thought, I guess we'll just go with it. But I came across this other issue of what the Shogun is actually showing you when you have it selected as native. So when you don't have any of the, I don't have Legalize on, I don't have any of the camera output things on, I don't have any LUTs on right now. I don't usually use LUTs. You can see the monitor here is showing me the native color from the GH5, which I'm filming with and which I'm feeding out to the Shogun here. So theoretically, the Shogun showing me the native image, cool. I still find it to be overly warm. I actually find it to be a little bit green even after it came back from calibration, but I wanted to show you this issue. So if we don't have any LUTs on, everything's supposed to be native, we can assume it's good to go. However, I installed a LUT, and one of the features of the Atomos Shogun is that when you install a LUT, let's say you're filming in log or something and the image is obviously washed out because it's in log, you can input a LUT on the monitor so that you can monitor with your color correction just to see how it's going to look so you know you've got your exposure correct. Most of you know that, but I usually don't use LUTs. I'm fine with the washed out image. But what I did was I made a really weird LUT because the Atomos Shogun has a feature where you can turn the LUT on and then you can split the screen to where half the screen will show you your LUT and the other half will show you the supposed native image. So if we go to monitor and I turn on this weird LUT, I made this LUT really specifically blue. I wanted to know what I was looking at. So obviously if we look here, we can see this LUT is just really wild. It's nothing I would ever use, but I wanted to verify that the LUT is working. Then when I go into the LUT screen, if I hit compare, supposedly this half of the screen over here is showing me the native image and this half is showing me the LUT so that you can compare the native look to the LUT look so that you know what you're doing. But this native color is not the same color as the native. If you turn off the LUT completely, the native color on this side actually changes. So I wrote Atomos and I said, well, what's native? Because if you're telling me that this view in compare mode is supposed to be the native color, I'm telling you it doesn't match native when you turn LUTs off completely. Again, this side of the screen is not supposed to be having any LUT applied to it whatsoever. It's supposed to be native. So if we do this, I think the easiest thing to do is I'm going to cover up this half of the screen so that we're only looking at the left half. And we can see this is supposed to be the native image coming from camera. However, if I just go under here and I turn off the LUT completely, if I just put the monitor back in native to where it turns off any LUTs, if you watch the left half of the screen, turn it off, and now look at my face. The monitor is in native mode, again, right there. We can see me right here. I look halfway decent. And if we just turn the LUT back on, again, this side is not supposed to have any LUT applied, and it doesn't because, again, this weird blue thing is my LUT. So I'm going to turn this on and off again. So this is supposed to be native, but as you can see, if I actually go back to native, my face here, I get a little more green, and we'll turn the LUT back on, and again, this side, supposedly being native, is definitely more saturated, a little more towards the red spectrum, a little warmer. Native, there's the native image coming from the camera. If I turn the LUT on, the LUT's over here. being compare mode, this side is supposed to be native. So the point is, what's native? If this compare view is supposed to be showing the native color and then what your LUT looks like, this native is different than native. So I'll switch it on and off again as I sit on this side of the frame. And we can look at it. I'll kind of maybe edit this together to where you've got both of these views side by side of me staring into the camera for a second. So native not in compare view, native when in compare view, native when not in compare view, native when in compare view. Now, is this a huge drastic difference? I think it's enough of a difference that if you're trying to run a multi-camera live stream or recording and you need all your cameras and colors to match, I don't know what's true native, because honestly, none of these views, neither this view, this native view, nor that native view really looks like the final image that you get on the disk and you load it into your computer. It's probably a little bit more towards the green. So I'm going to send this off to Atomos again. I've told them exactly how to replicate this. Basically, look at the native mode, install a LUT, make it really weird so that you know that you're seeing that weird LUT on the right side of the Shogun screen, and then flip back and forth because the native view in this compare mode is not identical to the native view without anything else turned on. Native, supposedly still native with the LUT over there. Kind of greenish, a little more reddish. What's accurate? I mean, come on. Anyway, I'm not sure if I will report back in this video or if I'll post an update as to whether or not this was fixed. I guess stay tuned for the next 5 seconds and find out. Till then. All right, so it is literally about a year later. I sat on the bulk of this video for a long time, but I did get the Shogun 7 sent off to Atomos, and I explained exactly how to duplicate this, and it's best to, you know, cover up one side of the screen when testing so that you can very well see the native versus what the LUT native view is doing. And if this view right here tells you anything, it tells you that it was not fixed. Atomos said that they discovered and thanked me for, you know, telling them how to recreate it, and that it was just fixed. They didn't give me any more explanation. But then when I got it back, again, you can see here that the native view here, I'll get, where are we here? I'll get on this side of the screen. There's just regular native, no LUTs are on, just in native mode again. And then we'll go, and there's my weird blue wild LUT. So we can see that it's actually applying the LUT on this side and not this side. And I've got that compare view on there. So again, we'll go back to monitor, we'll put it in native, we'll cover up the right side of the screen, we'll turn on the LUT, which should only apply it to the right side of the screen. But there we can see that the color, it changes a bit. I'm more greenish in the native view, but when we turn the LUT on, you can see the color shift. Everything gets a little more red, a little more saturated. So unfortunately, this problem wasn't fixed. So I don't know, I would say at this point that the regular native view without any LUT comparison view on, this view here, just raw native, is closer to what I get on the recorded file. So I'll just know that I have to stick with this. Kind of a shame, $1,300 for the Shogun itself, plus however many hard drives you want to buy, plus a very expensive, either $150 or this one was actually about $75 XLR to LEMO cable. This is a third-party one that I found on eBay just to get analog audio into this device. That's a shame. I'm going to keep the Shogun. I still do use the multiple SDI inputs, and I still use it here in my home studio to record, and I use it a little bit for work too. So it's not that it's completely out of whack with what's going on in your camera image, but it's out of whack enough that I felt it should have been better calibrated by Atomos, and that it's still not completely accurate as to what you get on other monitors and in the recorded file. And this whole compare view thing is not really doing what it says it's doing. So I guess it is what it is. I can't do anything more than send it back to Atomos again, but I think I'm done with that process. Just going to have to live with it like it is. And I really don't use LUTs a lot. I do record in Sony S-Log when I'm using one of my Sony cameras, so I will go in and turn on legalize if I'm using a log format. You can see it's not on right now because I'm not recording, and nor do I need that legalize, because that is just the raw image out of my GH5 and I'm not on any log format. So I don't use LUTs a lot, but the fact that it exists could be hurting those of you out there that do use LUTs on your Atomos products, because what it's showing you on the left and the right of your screen is not native as compared to native. I don't know, is what it is. There's the information. Use it as you need to, and buyer beware. Until next time, see ya.